Okay. So actually, there are four abodes. Like there are four main abodes where Lord Vishnu usually, definitely Lord is everywhere. He's Sarvatra. But it is said that on earthly planets there are four places where actually Lord Vishnu regularly he visits. Those four places are Badrinath, Dwarka, Jagannath Puri, and Rameshwaram. So Badrinath, what does Lord do? Lord, it's actually located in Himalayas where Lord actually goes and takes bathe, and then Dwarka is a place where Lord goes and he gets ready and he becomes, he gets into a royal attire. And then Jagannath Puri, he goes and he actually consumes his meal. It's said that in Jagannath Puri, when the people are cooking there, Lord doesn't even wait for them to come to the altar and offer. As soon as the cooking happens, Lord goes there and he honors the bhoga, and he that's why we see that from the direct from the straight from the kitchen, the offering goes to the Lord, and it comes back to the like a place where the prasadam is distributed, and the prasadam tastes so delicious because it's tasted by the Lord himself directly. And finally it said that Lord goes to take rest in Rameshwaram. If you like, this Rameshwaram is in South India. If you go there, you see that Lord is in the sleeping position, so he goes there to take rest. So in this way, Jagannath Puri is one of the prime places where actually, Lord spends his most of times, especially in honoring like prasad, in honoring boga and giving us prasad. And in the last session we had also discussed that how in Jagannath Puri, like Lord had actually given a boon to Indradyumna Maharaj, that as soon as he honors the bhoga, by the time his hands dries, by that time he gets a next set of bhoga. So in Jagannath Puri, you if you go to the temple, you see every now and then the pots and pots of bhogas are going on to the Lord, because he keeps on eating there and he keeps on like feeding the devotees there. And it is also said that in Jagannath Puri no fasting happens. Lord says that Ekadashi beat any other Sankashti or any other festivals, no fasting happens there, like by default, because Jagannath, whoever comes, Jagannath wants to feed them very sumptuously. And Jagannath is actually universal doctor. How? Because in Kali Yuga, this Kali Yuga is also called as Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Upadrita. It is said that in this Kali Yuga, most of the people like me, we are all dull headed and we are very lazy, and we are having a disease of conflict. We don't need any reason to have a conflict. You see on roads simple things happen and people start fighting, even at homes, be it siblings, be it relatives, be it anybody. There is no reason actually for us to fight, but still we start fighting, because this is the age of Kali. So let's say some fight is happening randomly, so you should not take it very seriously, and not part ways from the people whom you are fighting with. Instead, you should know that this is the age of Kali, and because the age of Kali is in effect, so the fighting usually happens. So the more, I mean, the quicker you have to start to forgive, and then the quicker you have to go back to them and basically apologize, or make friendship with them again, because this is the nature of Kali Yuga, that is a conflict. And in this nature of, I mean, in this age of Kali Yuga, the conflicts, age of conflicts, and age of lazy people who are being lazy, and people, if you see humanity, they are suffering from a huge disease of the mind, because people, they are actually, they're so lazy that they're reluctant to go to temple. If you see, they're okay to go to pubs, bars, or even go to restaurants to eat, or even go outside for food joints, but people are very very lazy to go to the temple. So Lord Jagannath is so merciful. He's not just by the name, the Lord of the universe. He's truly by the by the meaning, Lord of the universe, because he comes out on the Rath, and then he gives darshan to everybody. And The speciality about this Rath is that, like how I said, that he comes in Rath, and he, those who are too busy with worldly responsibilities to visit the temple, so he is actually coming and giving them darshan, and he's giving them the medicine of prasadam, and he acts as a spiritual doctor. And in my story also, it started like that. I still remember that when I was very young, I went to a place called Mysore. It's in Karnataka. It's couple of hours away from Bangalore. And when I went there to my aunt's place, so I still remember that I had not been to any temple at that point of time. But I had been to shopping. My aunt said that she'll buy some good dresses for me, because I had been to her house for the first time after many years. So we had gone to a street to buy dresses, and on that street, I still remember that I had witnessed the first Jagannath Rath Yatra of my life, where the only thing that I can remember is that they were throwing prasadams. They were throwing beautiful flowers that is offered to the Lord. They were throwing fruits. And I somehow, I got packets of sweets. They usually offer, when if you're around any Jagannath Rath Yatra, they usually offer um, like packets of bundi, packets of sweet bundi, or packets of khaja, or packets of shakarpara, or like this. I had got packets of bundi, and then I remember those were the one of the tastiest sweets I have ever had. And that's it. I forgot about it. And years after that, like so many years after that, here I am taking a session on Jagannath. So this is the mercy of Jagannath. And at that point of time, I didn't even know what Rath is, what Jagannath is, because we usually don't know. Like if you've not been in touch with Krishna consciousness, or not been to Jagannath Puri, it's hardly people know about Lord of the Universe, who is Jagannath. But like how I said, he's a spiritual doctor. He comes on streets on the Rath, and he distributes, he gives prasadam. And then that's how he cures our disease, be it mental disease, be it physical disease, or be it the disease of this material universe. And like, so when if somebody asks, for the first time, who are these Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Mai, what are the deities, like why are the deities looking so weird, then you can tell them that Jagannath, he is the Lord of the universe. And more than he's the Lord of the universe, once you know Jagannath, he becomes the the entire world for the devotees. Actually, I still remember that there are so many devotees who somehow very mysteriously they got Jagannath deities to their home, and their whole world changed. They were either they were spending money on so many unnecessary things outside, and they had a whole world outside in pubs, bars, clubs, etc. But when once they got Jagannath into their home, their whole world revolved around Jagannath. And now they are in a place where they are throughout the day and night, they are serving Jagannath. Whatever they get, they offer it to Jagannath in honor. And they, instead of celebrating their birthdays, they celebrate Jagannath's birthday. They celebrate Jagannath Rath Yatra, Snan Yatra, and they invite people to home, and they distribute prasadam. So Jagannath, once you know Jagannath, he's so merciful that he becomes our whole universe. So Jagannath, in both the ways, he's the Lord of the universe. And Baladev, he Bala means strength. Actually, Deva means like bliss, and like lot of enjoyment. So um, Baladev, he gives us spiritual strength for both eternal, like bliss, our spiritual life as well as material life. In fact, Prabhupada used to say that if you've ever been to like Vrindavan, or you can just surf like Vrindavan, Krishna Balram Mandir, the prime deities there are Krishna and Balram. And and Srila Prabhupada used to say, whenever you have any difficulty, or whenever you're going through a tough time, go to Balram, go to Baladeva, and just offer your prayers, and he will help. And it has happened to innumerable amount of devotees. Especially there were so many temple openings that was not happening, and people were going through difficulties in their spiritual life, in their material life. And all they used to go is, like how Srila Prabhupada said, they used to go in front of Baladev, and they used to offer their petitions, and Balram used to help like anything. And it has happened to me also. You can always go there, and you can try that, not just in Vrindavan, anywhere, whenever you go in front of a rath, or whenever you go to a temple where there is Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai, you go to Baladev and you offer a prayer, and whatever your wish is. I mean, it'll be good if it is a spiritual wish. Otherwise also, you can just go and offer, and you can see that Baladev is so merciful. He gives you the strength to go through the material spiritual difficulties. And Subhadramai, Su means like super auspicious. So Bhadra means like protection. So in this way, Subhadramai actually, she gives us like protection from this material world. So she's the actually the Durga Devi, who is the the uh, what do you say, the who does the protection of this material world. So in this Leela, so she comes as Subhadramai, who is the dear sister of Jagannath and Baladev, who's none other than Krishna and Balram. So in this way we see that actually, like if you see the eyes of Jagannath, so it's actually, it's circular, and it's just, there is no eyelids. If you see Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra deities, there are no eyelids, because in Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai, they're so merciful that they always want to, look at the devotees, and you know, st- like look at us and give us the mercy. That's why we should never miss an opportunity to go to the, whenever possible, even if it is Rath Yatra, or even if it is some temple, we should go in front of the deities, and we should take, their the like we definitely should take their darshan, but we should let them take our, let them glance on us also, because their glance is so purifying that all the contamination in our heart, it goes. So I have seen that people usually, when they go to temple, they just enter the temple, and then they just do one pradakshina, and then they just go away. No, we should stand in front of the deities. Why? Because the deities, they have their merciful glance, because of which, we get purified, and our heart, so much of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara that is there in our heart, it get cleansed automatically. So, and the Jagannath is also, he's Krishna in the form of, in the form of Jagannath, he's who is actually in separation from Srimati Radharani. So if you see, Jagannath Rath Yatra also, so it's basically pulling Krishna from Dwarka to Vrindavan, that please Krishna, we want you to be in Vrindavan, we cannot miss you in Vrindavan. So it's basically pulling Krishna from Dwarka to Vrindavan, that is from Aishwarya Bhav to Madhurya Bhav. And here also we see that, how does the form of Jagannath originate? So if somebody asks you that, like how come Lord Krishna, Balram got this form, then actually the story goes like this, that Krishna, who is the the husband of 16,108 wives. How did he get 16,108 wives? Again, it's not just random actually. If you see, like 16,000 queens, like the princes of the Kshatriya kings, were kidnapped by Jarasandha. So they were kidnapped and they were being tortured by this demon called Jarasandha. And then Krishna, because all these kings, they approached the fathers of these princesses, they approached Krishna and they said, we are not able to do anything. Please, save our daughters. And then Krishna goes, takes them all out of the jail. He protects them from the demon. And then when they come out of the jail, it said that, once a girl especially in that age, even few years ago now also, once a girl goes out of the house, and somebody either kidnaps her or somebody takes her, it said that, she will not be accepted by any others. Nobody will basically marry her. That's the tradition. That was the tradition earlier, that once you go to somebody else's house, like either because of kidnapping, or because of something else, nobody will accept you. So the all the queens of all those princesses, they begged Krishna that now nobody will accept us, so please marry us. And then Krishna married them. And there is a backstory to this also, that it goes to the age of Treta Yuga, where when Lord Ram, when he was traveling through the Dandakaranya forest, at that time there were so many sages. These sages, they were actually they saw Lord Ram, and then they got so much mesmerized by Lord Ram, and they wanted to be with Lord Ram. But they were actually sages in the body of the male, and also like Lord Ram, he had taken the Eka Patni Vrata at that point of time. So these sages, because of their mystical power, they could turn themselves into a woman. But Lord said that no, not in this age. This age you are sadhus, you are doing a lot of tapasya. So but I will, because you have a desire to get married to me and be with me exclusively. So spend time with me. So in the next age, that is in the Dwapara Yuga, when I come in the form of Krishna, I'll give chance for you, and I will get married to you. So these 16,000 sages of Dandakaranya and the Treta Yuga, who got blessings by Lord Ram, so in the next age, so they came as these princesses, and somehow that Leela happened where they were being kidnapped, and finally they begged Krishna to marry them, and that's how they married them. And after in that 16,108, there are 108 prime queens, and in that the top, like the prime most queen is Maya Rukmini. So Rukmini Maya, and Rukmini Maya's story, we all would know that she actually heard about Krishna from so many devotees, especially from Narada Muni, and she developed that loving affection for Krishna. Who doesn't have loving affection for Krishna? If we hear about the pastimes of Krishna, and if we see his merciful acts, anybody will fall in love with him, either in the mood of parentship, either in the mood of father, either in the mood of husband. So in every mood, when once we come in contact with Krishna, very soon we fall in love with him. So now if you see, for us also, we like to serve Krishna in the mood of Krishna. We take Krishna in the mood of father, and we want to serve him more and more. So we cook for him, we go out to the temples, and we want to serve him. Wherever we go, we have that mood that yes, he's our supreme father, he's our protector. He takes care of us, and he has been taking care of us, because he has given us such good parents, such good association, and he has kept in a place where we have reached out to him. We could have been anywhere else. Say it's Sunday evening, and we could have been anywhere else, and he is inspiring all of you to come to this session and hear about him. That's because he knows that he loves you so much that he wants you to come back to him, and he doesn't want you all to suffer in this material world. He wants you all to come back to him, and with him happily, with the supreme father happily, he wants you all to stay there with him, and not go through all these material miseries. And that's how he's all giving you this inspiration that please hear about me, and slowly love me, and take shelter of me, and come back to me. That's his mood. And this story goes back to, like how I said, Dwapara Yuga. Especially this is in Dwarka, where Rukmini Maya is, and all other queens, they're serving Krishna to the best of their abilities. But Krishna, in his sleep, he's taking the name, oh Subala, oh Madhumangal. Like this, he's taking the name of Gopis. He's taking the name of Srimati Radharani, oh Radharani, like that. And all these queens, they're thinking, especially Rukmini Maya, they're thinking, we are serving Krishna to the best of our abilities. But Krishna, he always thinks about Vrindavan. He always thinks about all this Gopas and Gopis and Mother Yashoda. So what is this actually? What has actually happened in Vrindavan Dham, that he is not able to forget them, and he's still missing them, and they're so dear to him. So they think, whom can we ask? So there is only one person whom they can ask, that is Mother Rohini, who is the mother of Balram. So they go, because Mother Rohini Maya, she was the wife of Vasudev, but because at that point of time Kamsa was troubling Vasudev and Devaki, so Vasudev had asked, Nanda Baba, that is the father of Krishna, that is Nanda Maharaj, to take care of Rohini for a good amount of time, until all this war ends. So when Krishna was growing up with Balram, so at that time Mother Yashoda and Rohini were there. So Rohini Maya, she was in Vrindavan, and she knows all the stories of Lord Shri Krishna. So all these queens, they go, they go to Lord Krishna. I mean, they go to this Rohini Maya, and then they ask that please tell us these stories of Krishna and Balram in this in Vrindavan. And Rohini Maya says, she says, yeah, tomorrow you come at this time, and then I'll start narrating the stories. But we have to ensure that Krishna and Balram, they don't hear the story, because if they hear the story, then we don't know what will happen. They may go into a different zone, and they may go back to Vrindavan Dham, so leaving all of us. So let's be careful. So next day they all meet, so you can imagine, like, so many thousand queens they meet, to discuss about Krishna Lila in Vrindavan. And finally Subhadra, who is the, like, Subhadra Maya, who is the little sister of Krishna and Balram, she would be asked by Rohini Maya to guard the place, so that Krishna and Balram doesn't come. And when they'll be guarding, so when so, Rohini Maya, she'll start explaining about so many stories, how Krishna was stealing butter, how Krishna was going to herd the cows, how Krishna used to like play with his cowherd friends. Like, there's so many stories she starts saying. And by the time, like, Subhadra Maya, she hears about these stories, and she get mesmerized about the pastimes of Krishna and Balram in Vrindavan, that she forgets that she had to actually guard Krishna and Balram from entering that sabha. So Krishna and Balram, they come, and finally all three of them, they start hearing to the narrations that is told by Rohini Maya. And the moment they hear about the Vrindavan pastimes, they experience that their childhood. They go back to their childhood. It so happens to us also. You see, when we hear about, when we sometimes sit back, and if we get our friends and we discuss about the our childhood activities, we also directly enter into that zone, and we forget that we have become old. So similarly, but this is like much more higher, wherein they Krishna, Balram, and Subhadramai, they go back to, they experience that mood of Vrindavan. They relish that bhav of Vrindavan. And they'll be actually tall and stout. They bend, they become into small, and because of the ecstasy, they grow small. You see, they are not, if you see Jagannath Baladev deities, they are very short. So they compress themselves because of that bhav. They compress themselves, and because of the mood of ecstasy, their eyes becomes big, and their hands come out. Like, when we are about to go and hug somebody, you see how our hands come out like that. They think of the Vrajavasis, and their hand comes out. And that form of Krishna, Balram, and Subhadra is in the form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai. And this form will be seen by Narada Muni. Now Narada Muni, he sees that form, and suddenly they'll come back to their original form. And Narada Muni says, hey, I have, Lord of the, lordships, I have seen your form as Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai. Please, give darshan of this merciful form to everybody. Then Krishna agrees, and he mercifully, he goes to the Nilachal Dham, which is none other than Jagannath Puri. And then he stays there. Now, even now, he stays in the same form, giving us all darshan in the merciful form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai ki jai. So, like how I was saying that, Rath Yatra, now that we know about Jagannath, like, Rath Yatra is a journey. It's a meeting basically of Srimati Radharani and Krishna in the land of Vrindavan. So, Jagannath temple, like, it is considered as Dwarka, and Gundicha temple, it's considered as Vrindavan. So it's basically pulling Jagannath from Dwarka to Vrindavan. So all these Vrajavasis, they're pulling that, please don't leave us, come back to Vrindavan, like that. Also, it is said that, where, like, when what happens is Akrura, first thing is Krishna and Balram, they'll be very happy in Vrindavan Dham. At that point of time, Kamsa, he gets to know that, Krishna and Balram are the only ones who will kill him. So before they come and kill him, he wants them to come and face his, like, he will be sending so many demons, but all the demons will be killed by Krishna and Balram. So now he will have another plan to invite them for a yuddha, for a war, hand to hand Malla Yuddha. And in that Malla Yuddha, he thinks, Kamsa thinks that, I will, all my associates, they will kill Krishna Balram very easily. But who will bring Krishna Balram to Mathura? So he will send his associate Akrura. Now Akrura comes, and he says, Kamsa is inviting you for this playful Malla Yuddha. So please come. So it is said that, if somebody invites you for a war at that point of time, so you cannot, reject it. So Krishna and Balram, they think that, yeah, let's go and anyway, let's deal with this atrocious Kamsa. He's troubling our parents, Vasudev and Devaki will kill him. So they will, like Krishna and Balram, they'll tell to all the Vrindavan Vasis, we will come back. So Vrindavan Vasis, they will be in the hope that Krishna and Balram, they'll come back soon. But what happens is Krishna and Balram will go there, they'll be engaged in so many wars and so many, activities, that they will never get a chance to go back to Vrindavan. And also Jarasandha, if you know, he attacks Krishna and Balram for 16 times. So Krishna thinks that these, like my father Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, all these, like, all my friends, Gopa friends, they are cowherd boys, they don't know how to fight. So if they attack, if the whole army of Jarasandha attacks, like, Vrindavan, then there is, if they attack me, that's okay. But if they attack my near and dear ones, all these Gopas and Gopis, I cannot handle it. So he thinks that, I better be in Dwarka. Like there in Dwarka, people are basically Kshatriyas. They're ready to, you know. mm, wage a war there. Everybody is ready. Even in fact, Rukmini Maya also, if you see, like, she was a Kshatrin, like she was a Kshatrini. She knew how to, fight and, win against everybody. So everybody knew how to do the warfare. So he thinks that, let me not go back. Now here in Vrindavan, everybody are waiting, when will Krishna come. He said he will come. So finally Krishna will think that we should meet, and then Krishna will go to Kurukshetra. Why he'll go to Kurukshetra? You all would be knowing, because the war, the famous Kurukshetra war between Kauravas and Pandavas, that happens in Kurukshetra. At that time, if you see geographically, um, like, Dwarka is one end and Vrindavan is on another end, and in between there is Kurukshetra. So Krishna comes to Kurukshetra for the war. At that point of time, he invites all the Vrajavasis, because it's near to them, it's little bit near to them. So all the Vrajavasis, all these Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, Gopas, Gopis, Srimati Radharani, everybody comes to, Kurukshetra. At that time, they say, Krishna, you have changed. You are not the Krishna who are cow herding, who are, stealing the butter. You have changed. You have become a king. We don't want this Krishna, this part of Krishna. We want our Krishna back, who was a cowherd boy, who was a Makan Chor, who was a dear darling of Vrindavana. We want that Krishna back. And they were in their minds, actually, they were pulling, they kept Krishna, who was a king, in the Rath, and they were pulling Rath. This was actually the first Rath Yatra, that, in the minds of the gopis, in the minds of Srimati Radharani, the first Rath Yatra ever happened in Dwapara Yuga, where they kept the Krishna who was in Kurukshetra, who was in the kingly attire. They kept Krishna in their minds. They kept him on the Rath, and they were pulling the Rath from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. They said, Krishna, we want you back in Vrindavan. Please come back. We don't want you in this form. Please come back. So that was the first ever Rath Yatra that happened. And then, if you physically, if you see, like in the last Snan Yatra session, we had discussed that Indradimna Maharaj, so he gets a order that he gets locks of wood, and he sculpture comes, and he says that, I will, carve these deities, but nobody should open the door until I come out. But Indradimna Maharaj, because of his, excitement that, oh, I want to see the deities, and he doesn't hear any sound from inside, so he opens the door, and he sees that Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramaya deities, they're half formed. So he thinks that they're half formed, but they're actually fully formed. And then Lord instructs them that, yes, you establish, you make a rath, and you invite, you make a Rath Yatra, by which I will give darshan to everybody. And this happens in, again, Ashada Shukla Dvitiya, which is coming, which is very soon happening, on 16th. Actually, this Ashada Shukla Dvitiya, on that day, actually, in Jagannath Puri, even now the Rath Yatra is happening. And it was said that earlier, when if you have been to Jagannath Puri, the Rath actually used to go from the Shri Mandir, that is the main temple, to some distance, and between the Jagannath Mandir and, like, Gundicha, there was actually a river. and Jagannath used to come in Rath, and then Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, they used to go in boat. I don't know how many of you knew this. They used to come in Rath, they used to get down, they used to go in boat, cross the river, and then again there would be another set of Rath, which is called Gundicha Rath, and from there they used to, after crossing the river, they used to get into another three set of Rath, and then go to Gundicha Mandir. Like you can imagine, it's Rath Yatra, and it is boat festival too. I don't even know how big the boats would be to carry Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai. Like it is, but it would be, I'm sure it would be a treat to the eyes. You imagine Subhadramai, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai on a boat. Big boats decorated so beautifully, and people are throwing flowers on Jagannath in middle of the river. I mean, it would be a treat to the eyes. But now, yeah, over a period of time, that river dried, and now only the chariot is what that is remaining. And once Jagannath comes out of his temple in Sri Mandir, there is something that happens, that is called Pahandi Vijay. So now we are visually seeing Jagannath. So let's say we all are there in Jagannath Mandir, and Jagannath is coming out. Jagannath is living his Garbhagraha. He's coming out, and people, like so many pandas, they're trying to carry Jagannath. Jagannath is, you see, you have to see that, the like bringing of Jagannath. Jagannath is like swinging front, he's swinging back, he is just enjoying that, that all his devotees are carrying him. If you see Jagannath, he doesn't have feet, but still he moves by the love of his devotees. He walks by the love of his devotees. Everybody is carrying Jagannath, and then he is moving to and front, he's moving to and fro. And sometimes, if you have to see that, sometimes Jagannath, it is as if seen that Jagannath is falling, he's falling on the ground, almost he's close to the ground. And then somehow these pandas, they put all their energy, they lift Jagannath, the heavy Jagannath, the cute Jagannath, they lift him. I don't even know how fortunate they are to touch Jagannath, to lift him, to hug him. I mean, it is like such a mercy Jagannath is giving on them. And then finally they bring in the rhythmic steps, to and fro, they bring Jagannath to the chariots. And again, sometimes Jagannath, he's so nutcut, he's again in the mood of, now he's going to Vrindavan, to Gundicha Mandir, which is none other than Vrindavan. So he's in the mood of Vrindavan, so he's becoming more and more naughty, and he doesn't agree to sit on chariot. And sometimes on the chariot, they place him on the chariot, he doesn't agree to move at all. They try to push the Rath for hours together, for days together. It has so happened that he doesn't move at all. And then when he feels like, okay, now I'm ready, then automatically the Rath starts moving. All these nutcut activities Jagannath does. And there is something that happens called as Hera Fair ceremony, wherein actually the king, the king of Orissa, he comes down and he sweeps the path of Jagannath. If you see now also, if you see any Rath Yatras even in our place, we can all take part in the Rath Yatra in the local location. And the most and the best thing that we can do is, we can grab a broom, usually in front of Jagannath Rath Yatra, we sprinkle the water. Few of us, we all have that experience, that you know uh, you know uh, that we sprinkle water, and we have made the rangolis for Jagannath. We have swept the way where Jagannath is coming. Those are all like very very delicious activities that we do in front of Rath Yatra. And here we see it all started from this king of Orissa, that from that age, King Indradyumna Maharaj, I said. So he takes a very very humble position, and he sweeps in front of the Jagannath Rath, saying that I am not the king. I am not the king. You, Jagannath, who you are the king. You are not just the king of this Orissa. You are the king of, not just the king of India. You are king of the whole world, whole universe. That actually, the is the representation of this small yet so humble act of the king of Orissa actually. And finally, how does Jagannath start his Rath Yatra? Actually, Jagannath, in the last session we had discussed about Snan Yatra, where Jagannath takes bath, he falls sick, so called sick. That is basically to spend some time with Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi, and to convince her that please allow me to go on Rath to Vrindavan Dham and come back. I'll come in 2 days. So Jagannath says that to Lakshmi Maya, and Lakshmi Maya says, okay, you have stayed with me, for good amount of days. Now you can go for 2 days and you can come back. Now Jagannath goes. Do you think he comes back in 2 days in Rath? No, he goes there for a good amount of time. He stays there. If in Rath he goes, and then he stays in Vrindavan, that is Gundicha temple, for a long amount of time. That now Lakshmi Maya is thinking, my husband, he said that he'll come back in 2 days, but what happened to him? He's not even coming back. And then she gets angry and she comes to the Gundicha, and she feels left out, that oh, Jagannath is now in the mood of Vrindavan, he doesn't want to come back. And then she threatens him, you better come back very soon. And then finally, when the Lord returns in the return yatra, so he takes a lot of rasgullas for Lakshmi Maya, and he and Baladev and Subhadra Mai, they give the rasgullas, delicious rasgullas, and then they ask for forgiveness. So in this way, in the rath, in the back, like return rath, if we are waiting for the return rath, the when the rath comes back, we all actually, we can get the rasgullas in the form of prasadam. And those rasgullas, it is said that those are one of the most delicious rasgullas ever one can ever have. And there are so many stories about Jagannath Puri Dham and the devotees. And like, we will discuss few of the stories, and then we will again continue the Rath Yatra for some times, and we'll end this session. And if you also have some stories to share about Jagannath, you can also come and feel free to share. So this devotee, she's actually, this story is about how, if you ever go to Jagannath Puri, it's all, throughout the day khichdi prasadam is served. And I will give you some tips at what time you have to go to have the best of the best khichdis. You have to go to the Anand Bazaar, which is in the premises of Jagannath, at around 1 p.m., 12:30 to 1 p.m. Hot Jagannath khichdis comes from the directly from the altar of Jagannath. And they're so fresh. They have that aroma of ghee, and they're melt in mouth. You just put them in the mouth and they just melt. I didn't know that. The first time I went, I had thanda prasad, cold prasad. And then the second or third time I went last year, I realized that no, when we have the fresh prasadam that is directly coming from the altar, when we take it from the Anand Bazaar, and it is so tasty. That prasadam is out of the world. And it is also said that Jagannath prasadam, no matter the how much of prasadam we have from the Jagannath's altar in Jagannath Puri, we will never get stomach upset. You can have throughout the day, you can stay there and have prasadam, but you will never get stomach upset. Why? Because that prasadam, it's not just prasadam, it is medicine. It has the mercy of Krishna, Jagannath ji, direct mercy of Jagannath ji. Jagannath ji has directly tasted it, and it has become a medicine for the soul now. So if at all you go, so please try the hot either dal rice or the famous khichdi there. And this khichdi story I wanted to share, so that next time you go there, you'll relish and remember these stories. So there was a devotee called Karma Bai, who was this very simple hearted devotee who loved Lord Jagannath very, very deeply. And because of her affection, actually Jagannath would personally visit to her house. How did that happen? Because like she was so poor that she could only make khichdi. She could add whatever rice dal she had, she would add that, and she would add some sabjis, and she would make one pot khichdi. you know and like she like initially she would bring these khichdis to the temple, to offer to Jagannath. But people, the priests over there, they used to think, you might not have maintained all the cleanliness and all the the procedure to prepare bhoga for Jagannath. So they rejected that offering by Karma Bai. But Lord, he is Bhakta Vatsala. He's the he's so much merciful that he understands more than our externals, he understands our internals. So he understood the mood of Karmabai, and he used to himself go to the house of Karmabai, and he used to, with his own hands, he used to taste those khichdis. And then he again, he finally, like Jagannath, he declared to all his priests that, if at all eat something, I will eat this khichdi. I don't want your opulent prasadam that you're giving. If you're not giving me this khichdi, don't give me anything. So Jagannath demanded. And finally, after that, even till now, like khichdi's, pots and pots of khichdi's are made in the, in the memory of Karmabai, who was a very very dear most devotee of Jagannath. And these delicious khichdi's are being offered. So if at all you go to Jagannath Puri, it's my humble request you taste those khichdi's. They are like amazing. They are out of this material world. And then like there is another pastime where actually, Sudarshan Chakra. How did Sudarshan come on the side of Jagannath? If you see Jagannath in Jagannath Puri temple, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai, and like Jagannath, Subhadramai, Baladev, and then on the left of Jagannath is Sudarshan. He's not in the form of chakra; he's in the form of stick. How did that happen? Again, there is a very beautiful story where Sudarshan Chakra, he was in the hand of the Lord. If you see it in the hand of Lord Vishnu, Sudarshan Chakra will be there. And he's a weapon. He's not a stick, he's a weapon. And because Lord used to use him in all the, who to kill so many demons. And, he was the Lord's favorite weapon. And he used to always be there on the Lord's little finger. And he became very proud that, I am the most dear to, Lord, the Lord, and there is nobody as dear to the Lord as me. I'm always on the finger of the Lord, and the Lord always, he sends me to kill the demons, and he needs me, like that. He started thinking, he started developing the pride. And at that time, Lord Jagannath, he recognized that this Sudarshan, he is developing the pride. Let me send him to Hanuman. So he sends Sudarshan to an island in the south to invite Hanuman. At that time, definitely Hanuman is a devotee who's very very dear to the Lord. We all know he's so much dear to the Lord, but he's so humble. Hanuman is so humble. So when Sudarshan goes to Hanuman, and you know he tells Hanuman that, Hanuman, Lord Jagannath is calling you to Jagannath Puri temple, so please come, like that. He invites like he invites this Hanuman. At that time, Hanuman, he's Vayuputra, he comes in here. But the Sudarshan, he thinks that, I want to reach there first. So Sudarshan, it's just chakra. So out of nowhere, Sudarshan spinning his chakras, he reaches actually the gates of Jagannath Puri, the four gates, and he blocks all the four gates. He thinks, let's see how this Hanuman enters. Let me block all the four gates. Lord says that he's the dearest devotee. Let me test him, like that. And now, like Hanuman, he reaches there, and then he sees that before him, Sudarshan Chakra has already reached, and he has closed the doors. He's not allowing him to enter. And finally, Hanuman, like a humble servant, he prays to Jagannath. This is the power of the devotee actually. A devotee is not powerful not by fighting, not by actually, showing his power, but just by praying. By praying, Lord, he recognizes our prayers. If our prayers is intense, and if our prayers is sincere, Lord, he'll reciprocate to our prayers. And that same thing happened to Hanuman. He gets six hands actually. Why six hands? With two hands he will carry the like uh, like uh, with four hands he will carry the chakra, and then he will open the door with his vayu, and then in two hands he will actually he will fold his hand, and he'll offer his gratitude to Lord Jagannath, that thank you Jagannath, I could never open these doors. It's only by the mercy I opened the door. And then when this happens, so Sudarshan, who is a chakra, he'll realize that, oh, I was very proud, because of which, Jagannath is trying to teach me a good lesson. And finally, he begs and prays to Jagannath, but Jagannath, he says that because you are very proud, instead of being like a weapon, like a chakra, you become like a stick. Stick is we say Dandavat Pranam. Why? Because falling like a stick. Dandavat means falling like a stick. So become humble like a stick and fall down straight like a stick. If you see, when devotees offer obeisances, especially men, you see they fall like a completely like a stick. They use all their body parts to offer obeisances to the Lord. That is because that's why it is called Dandavat. And finally, like Jagannath, he makes him like a weapon rather than a than a stick. And he was actually, it is said that like the Sudarshan was always on the right of the Lord, but right hand of the Lord, and on the finger of the Lord, because he was very proud. If you see in Jagannath's like altar, Sudarshan is to the left of Jagannath, and he is in the form of stick. This is to make him humble and to reduce his pride, that was done. But because he always served him, because Sudarshan always served him, and also Sudarshan went back, begged Jagannath that please forgive me. So Jagannath, like how I said, he's Bhavagrahi Janardana. He's so much merciful. He's Bhaktavatsala. He said that he gives a benediction to Sudarshan that you will be placed on the top of the temple, and he says, Jagannath says that even if people cannot come inside and take my darshan, if they just take darshan of the Sudarshan chakra on the top of the temple, they get the same merit as taking my darshan itself. That's why we see, as soon as we go to the Jagannath's temple, we see the Sudarshan chakra and we bow down. And especially at the time of you know this Anavasara period, the period now where we cannot see Jagannath, or when there is so much rush that we cannot see Jagannath, we see the Jagannath, the Sudarshan Chakra, and we get the same benefit as seeing the Lord Himself, because that is the benediction that he received. And again, how did this Mahaprasad start? Like how I said, first thing is Indradimna Maharaj, he asked the benediction that by the time your hand dries, O Jagannath, next set of bhoga should go to you. So that's how actually the Jagannath bhoga started, like Chappan bhog for Jagannath started, and innumerable times bhoga will be going on. By the time Jagannath finish eating his first meal, next meal goes to him. And if another story to this is that actually, Narada Muni, he wanted the remnants of the Lord. This is again in the Vaikuntha Loka. He wanted some prasadam, direct prasadam of the Lord from the Lord's plate. And Lakshmi Devi, she was in difficult position, because she had told that Lord Vishnu that no, all your remnants, whatever prasadam you leave, it is only for me. I will not give it to anyone. That so happens in any home. That husband, he leaves something in the plate. It used to happen that the wife used to eat in the plates of husband and things like that. And this actually started from Lakshmi Maya, who actually wanted to take the remnants from the Lord. I mean, that is such a blessings to get the direct remnants of Lord Vishnu. So she had told that I will not share the remnants with anybody. But Narada Muni begs and prays to Lakshmi Maya that please give me some remnants, and he gets few grains. And then he actually few grains, he takes it. And finally, when he takes that grain, he goes to a secluded place, and he'll be having that grains. And Lord Shiva, he gets to know that Narada Muni has got the remnants of Lord. And finally he said that please give me some amount, share me some amount. It so happens, when we go to some temple, we get some mercy. Let's say we get Rajbhog, we say that we request others, please give us some prasadam, that so that we also get some mercy. So Shiva also asks for the mercy, and Shiva also gets a tiny grain. Now Shiva, he actually Shiva becomes so happy. Now Parvati Maya saying, how is this Lord Shiva becoming so happy? Now Shiva puts the remnants in his mouth, and Parvati Maya asks, what happened, why are you so happy? Now Shiva, definitely he cannot lie to his wife, so he cannot lie to anybody basically. So he says that, I got a little tiny piece of grain that was there in the fingernail of it was there it was stuck in the nails of Narada Muni, I got it, and I'm so happy now. Parvati Maya, she becomes very upset, and she says that, you like you have to give, you are my husband. You have to share it with me. You have not shared. Now she gets upset, and she prays to Lord. She prays to Lord Jagannath that you are the, Lord of the universe. So you have to give all of us, the prasadam. Otherwise, we will be, we will be bereft of your mercy. You have given your prasadam to Lakshmi Maya, to Narada Muni, to Lord Shiva. Why are you leaving us, me and my kids? Like Parvati Maya considers all the, the living entities in this material universe as her kids. So she says that please give mercy to all my kids. And that's how we see, Lord gives her a promise that I come in Jagannath Puri, and in Jagannath Puri I give my direct remnants to everybody. That's how we see direct prasad, like direct bhoga that is offered to Jagannath, that comes in Anand Bazar, and we can, directly honor those mercy prasadam. So this is what the mercy of, origin of Mahaprasad, and mercy which comes in the form of Mahaprasad. And one final story, and then we will wrap up. This story is about a person who used to challenge, he was not at all believing in the practice of, offering to the Lord. People say, what is this offering? It is, what is this deity? This deity is just a murti, it is just a stone or just a wood. It's not Lord like that. But it is actually not like that. When we say, archa vigraha, it is, as per the scriptures, the netrotsav will be made, and the installation of the deity will be made, pran pratishtha will be made. And when the pran pratishtha will be made, lordships themselves from the spiritual world, they come, and then they become those deities. The deities are not, they become non different from the Lord. So whenever we go to any temple, be it, in any ISKCON temple, or be it any Jagannath temple, we see they are not the deities that, they're not the stone or wood that are they're kept like that, marble that they're kept like that. They have been, the based on the shastras, pran pratishtha have been done, and lordships themselves, they have come down in the form of archa vigrahas to give mercy. So when these people, in this case, when the a man, he used to mock at the Lord, and he used to mock at the prasad. They say that, what do? You go and keep in front of the Lord and you bring it. Actually, if you see, it is said in Brahma Samhita that angani yasya sakalendra vritti manti, which means Lord doesn't have to eat by his mouth. He can eat by his eyes, he can eat by his fingers, he can eat by his hand, he can eat by his mouth, he can eat by his ears, nose, everything. Because Lord is so powerful that his one senses can act like another senses. For us, we have to eat through the mouth, we have to, wash, we have to take through the hands, we have to see through the eyes, hear through the ears, like that. But Lord, his senses can be interchanged. And Lord, very mercifully, he eats through the eyes. Imagine, like, we offer to the Lord, and Lord eats through the mouth, and nothing remains. We would never offer anything to the Lord, right? Because let's say you made a very wonderful pizza prasadam, pizza bhoga for the Lord, and you keep it in front of the Lord. You ring the bell, offer the prayers, and you come back after 10 minutes to see the pizza bhoga is missing. What do you say? Next time, will you offer him? Next time, maybe you'll offer a small piece to the Lord. We will not offer a big whole, all complete pizza. So Krishna, he knows that we are so greedy for the prasad, that he is so merciful. He eats through the eyes, and then he leaves all the remnants. That is, he keeps the prasadam. He eats through the eyes, and he makes the bhoga into prasadam, and he leaves it as is. About this person, actually, this person, he was criticizing the people. Why are you offering the food, and why it's not even prasad, and things like that. And finally, because he criticized Lord and his Mahaprasad, which is serving so many devotees, he actually became ill. He became ill to such an extent that his body was not able to move. All his bones had been cracked, and he was on bed, and completely, complete bandage to his whole like body. And he was not at all, he was not able to breathe properly, he was not able to get up, he was not able to sit, like that it had happened. And finally, some devotees, they'll make him realize that this is because you criticized Lord and his Mahaprasadam, it happened. And the moment he realized that, oh my God, I have done such a big blunder, in his mind, he'll imagine that he is getting Mahaprasad of Jagannath, and he's honoring it. He's begging for that prasadam from Lord Jagannath. In his mind, he's offering that, he's eating that prasadam. And when Jagannath sees that this person is transformed, even in his mind, he's just respecting that prasadam, and he's honoring that prasadam. So at that point of time, Jagannath, devotees will bring him Jagannath Prasad. Somehow, Jagannath's Prasadam will reach him, and one grain of Prasadam will enter his mouth. And surprisingly, this is a real incident. Surprisingly, all the bodily ailments that he had, it gets cured. And the doctors who had predicted that nothing can happen to him, in no time, he gets. Because after eating Jagannath's prasad, he gets healed, and he becomes a hatakata person again. This is the mercy of Lord Jagannath, he and his prasadam. And just by honoring the prasadam, it's like how I said, it's a healing medicine to the soul and to the body. And whenever you're going to Jagannath temple, there is a, right in front of, right after you pass the Patita Pavan Jagannath, there is a black stone. And the story behind this black stone is that it is said that Yamaraj, he Yamaraj also wanted to be in the temple of Jagannath. So Yamaraj, he's the he's the lord of the hellish planets. He is known for taking people to the hell, and giving them a special treatment over there, especially the people who commit sins. So Jagannath, he says that he Jagannath doesn't want to give him a place, but again, Yamaraj is such a wonderful devotee. So he Jagannath, he says that you come, you stay in my footstep. Yamaraj is there in the footstep of Jagannath temple. So it said that when we are entering the temple, we should keep our foot on that black stone. You can see that black stone right after Patita Pavan Jagannath. That black stone is there. We can keep our foot on the on the black step. And while we're coming back, we should not keep our foot on it, which means we will actually while entering, we will all, while entering the temple, we'll all surrender all our karma. And when living, it is said that we are taking complete shelter of Lord grace, and we come out karma free. And we will by coming out karma free, and also by honoring the remnants prasadam of Jagannath, it is assured that we will get extreme mercy of Jagannath. And we will go back to his abode at the end of this life. This is one remembrance, that while going, we have to step on that black stone, but while coming back, we should not step on that black stone. And again, this is a very very beautiful Khaja story, wherein how did Khaja comes in picture. Actually, one a devotee, in one devotee's dream, actually Lord comes, Jagannath comes, and he gives this recipe of Khaja. And it is said that he makes this devotee, when he first time when he started making the khaja, it is said that you if you know the preparation of khaja, you have to roll and then cut and then you're frying. So that devotee, when he was frying, and then he had made a chashni, that is a sugar syrup. It is said that the the devotee, he fried it in the oil, he fried the khaja in the oil, and now he's dipping in the sugar syrup. And when does Jagannath came to have, by the time that person, the devotee, lifted that from that what is that sugar syrup, Jagannath used to come and honor. He was not even waiting for him to put it in plate. You can imagine, this devotee, he is frying, he's putting the khaja in the sugar syrup, and Jagannath is coming and honoring that khaja. That favorite khaja is to Jagannath, actually. So that's why you see, whenever, I mean, Khaja is such a wonderful recipe. So this weekend, we are actually in our temple, we are celebrating Jagannath Rath Yatra, and hopefully we are making an attempt to make Khaja, and we will offer to Jagannath. And it's a very very simple recipe. If you want to try, I can share you the recipe. It's a very simple recipe. Every one of us, I mean, whenever possible, if not now, we can try the Jagannath Khaja, and we can offer it to Lord Jagannath. So in this way, the Khaja originated. And now if you go to Anand Bazar in Jagannath Puri, it's like a Khaja dham. It's like filled with khajas. So the like Prabhupada, when he went to the West, actually Jagannath is called as the Lord of the Universe, but Jagannath Rath Yatra was only happening in Jagannath Puri. But our dear Prabhupada, who was the founder Acharya of ISKCON, when he went to the Western world, so he actually, he got the deities of Jagannath. I will share you that story sometime later, maybe another session. And then he established Jagannath Rath Yatra, and surprisingly, now you see Jagannath Rath Yatra happens everywhere, in nook and corner of the world, in in uh, well, in countries like Russia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, every nook and corner. You have to see, you can surf, you in the YouTube, you can go and check Pakistan Rath Yatra. You can check and you can see, such a ghastly place like Pakistan or Russia or Bangladesh or any nook or corner of the world. You see, recently New York Rath Yatra happened, LA, Los Angeles Rath Yatra happened. This is the mercy of Prabhupada, that he took, the Jagannath is not just meant for the, like Jagannath Puri or India, he's meant for the whole world, whole universe. So that was actually, that meaning of Jagannath was taken all over the world by our dear Srila Prabhupada, who started this, Rath Yatra. He actually, in childhood days, he made a small rath, and he had a Rath Yatra in his hometown in Kolkata. And at that time, he told everybody that one day I will go all over the world and I'll establish Rath Yatras. And now we see that he has made his words come true. All over the world, Rath Yatra is happening, and it's happening in even in your place, be it Nagpur, be it Mangalore, be it Udupi, everywhere it is happening. So if you don't know the date, so you can reach out to me, so I will get back with the date. So so wherever you are now, this weekend, I'm pretty sure, I mean, this is today is one Sunday, so next Saturday, Sunday, or in the weekdays someday, Rath Yatra will be happening. So you can go take part in Rath. It is said that whoever sees a Rath, Jagannath on Rath, so their liberation from this material world is assured. And like, just by participating in Rath Yatra, by pulling in Rath, by pulling the Rath, by taking the darshan of Lord in the Rath, by, when we pull the Rath, the dust comes, and by just, smelling that dust, or by just touching that, when the dust touches our body, it gets purified. So we are so much filled with the contamination. So all of us, we can take part in the Jagannath Rath Yatra to the best of our abilities. We can go wherever we are. We don't have to go to Jagannath Puri. By the mercy of Prabhupada, we have Rath Yatra happening all over every nook and corner of India. We are having Rath Yatras. So please go take part in Rath, pull the Rath. You can see the Lord in the Rath, and you can, like how I said, you can take the broom, and you can clean in front of the Rath. Everybody will be doing it. You'll have a lot of fun, and people will be, dancing around, and it's such a wonderful, vibrant atmosphere. So I request all of you to go. Please take part in the Rath Yatra this week. And like how I said, finally, Ratetu Vamanam Drishtva Punarjanmam Vidiyate. It is said that anybody who takes darshan of Lord Jagannath in the Rath, so they will not get a birth again in this material world. So we are all suffering in this Dukhalayam, world of material miseries. So we can all, take part in this Rath Yatra, look at the Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sudarshan in Rath, and beg them for their mercy, and take part in this wonderful festival of Rath Yatra. And in our IBC, that is Whitefield Rath Yatra, where it is happening, so we have flash mob, we have dance, we have, we have um, uh, what do you say, skit that is happening. So if you are in Bangalore, if you are in Whitefield, please go and take part. It is happening this Sunday. Like, this is today is one Sunday, so next Sunday the Rath Yatra is happening. So please go and take part. But it will be wonderful. And if you are not in Bangalore, if you are in any other place, so please let me know. I will definitely, figure out the Rath Yatras that is happening, and the date, the place, the contact, everything I'll share you. My humble request is, go and take part in the Rath Yatra. And Punarjanma na Vidyate. Let's not take birth again in this material world. When we have given this chance of, seeing Lord in the Rath and not going back, I mean, not coming back to this material world, why miss this chance, right? So yeah, so please take part. And if you're not able to take part because of some reason, because of health or some reason, then please, like, I'll be sharing you on 16th. I'll be sharing you the link. So whenever possible, you can, you can watch the Rath Yatra online, and in your minds, in your hearts, you can pull the Rath. So thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antakonti Vaishnavranda ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you have some stories of Jagannath, I mean, for a couple of minutes, you can share. Otherwise, we will end here. And yeah, I'll beg and pray that, yeah, you visit. I mean, you take part in Jagannath Rath Yatra in the coming days. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रमई की जय, नीलाचला निवास